Hello. I know I popped on early because I wanted to get everything situated. So just give me a minute. Oh, I think this might actually work this week. I'm always trying to go live in both my groups, and I think it's going to work. So just give me a second and I will get this set up and then I'll get started. It's not going to be very long today. Okay. So I won't keep you too long. It's a terribly cold day here in New York, upstate New York. Um, so I'm not too enthusiastic about going outside today. Today is the day that I use for self care for myself. And I'm excited today because my son is coming to visit me. So I was cleaning right before I hopped on here. Why? Okay, I'm just writing the title for them. I didn't think this was going to work. That's why I'm so underprepared. I apologize. Okay, let's see if this goes. All right, it's working. Whoops, I can't do that. I'm a little bit of an amateur at this. Okay, I think I got it all set up. Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. I'm actually really excited working. It's been a few weeks since this has worked. So I'm really glad this is working this week. I would love to go live in both these groups, Self Care Sunday and the Empowered Woman, every week. It doesn't always work. I always post the video though, but it's nice when I can go live. And so I'm really happy to be here. As I said in the post, if you saw it, today I'm talking about why the work is just as important as the rest. And I have kind of a story to tell you about how I learned this the hard way and how it kind of relates to almost all the different situations in your life. And just me trying to stress the fact or emphasize it to people that you do need the rest and the rest is important. And this pertains to just life, this pertains to your job, this pertains to your family, this pertains to your personal self care, this pertains to working out. It's the same thing for working out. So let me just check on the time. Okay, I'm a little early still. It took me a little bit to get situated, but I'm so psyched that I am here. Okay. So I'm going to kind of get into my story and how I learned this the hard way. It's not a terrible story. It's actually pretty funny. And and then how I kind of relate it back to different times in my life. Okay. Also, as I talked about for the past couple of weeks, I talked about my stroke and how getting past the fear and how, like moving on and taking chances. And it has a lot to do with that also. Before I had the stroke, how I responded to my life and my stress. And so for those of you who know me really well, you know that I am a big time runner. I've been running, I think I started running when I was in my 30s. I don't know how to turn these notifications off, so I apologize. So I started in my 30s, late 30s. Before I had the stroke, which was 39, I was running. I was a pretty good runner. And I started because I was going through a divorce and I had gained a little bit of weight and I just wanted it to come off quick. And I remember researching how to get rid of weight quickly. And the one thing that popped up was running. So I was like, all right, well, I could do that, and it was hard at first. And then I just got into it and I've done a lot of races. It's a social aspect of my life. So it's a very big part of my life and I really enjoy it. And so So this was like back in the day. It was after my stroke, and I was training for, I believe, a half marathon at the time. And I signed up to do this running program with a running coach, and it was all women, and they were badass runners. Like they were all older than me, and they all kicked my butt. And we ran in the country where I used to live, kind of in the Syracuse area, and it was very hilly and difficult running. And so I ran with these women. I was doing this half marathon training program with them. Long distance, I think it was called a long distance training program. Then at the same time, because I loved running so much, I signed up for another program that was with a local sports store for the same thing, for a long distance running program, training for a half marathon. And I loved it so much. So I was training at least 4 to 5 days a week and running anywhere. I was running a lot. It was probably running like 30 miles a week. And I thought, this is great. Like, I am going to kick ass. So I had a time in mind. I had run half marathons before, and I had a time in mind that I wanted to beat. And I thought, I am going to rock this. I am just going to kick some serious butt. And so I really thought. So I was working hard, and I was doing everything that I was supposed to be doing. I was cross training, meaning I was lifting weights. Also, I wasn't just running and running and running. I was doing other things to cross train to try to avoid injury. And I really thought I was going to do well. And then the day of, so obviously I wasn't resting too much. But I didn't feel like I needed rest. I really didn't. I was happy. I was having so much fun. I really was. I just loved the whole social aspect of it. And I felt very strong, and I felt like I was doing really well. And I keep getting like this circle thing over here, like my computer's thinking. So I hope that it's still live, but I guess I'll find out. So anyway, so the day of the event came up, and I ran the half marathon, and I completely sucked ass. Like, I did terrible. I can't remember what the difference was, but I actually did worse than what my regular timing would have been. Like, so my last time that I did on my half marathon, I did worse. And it took me a while to figure it out. And I talked to people about it. I was like, I don't know what I did wrong. Maybe it was just an off day. Maybe it was just a bad race. Cause you do have those moments where you have a race where it just doesn't work. And then the more I talked to people, that knew about training, I figured out that I didn't give my body time to rest. And so your muscles do most of the growing when they're resting. They're not growing as you're using them. And so when you don't give your body a chance to rest, you're not giving yourself any recovery time. So you're not getting back to your regular strength where you could work out hard again, and you're not giving your body the chance to recover and then grow and build muscle. So you build muscle, you get stronger, you run faster. And so I was breaking down that. I wasn't giving my body a chance to rest. And so it was a year-long lesson that I learned, because most of the time when you're training for a race, I think I trained most of the year, and the race was in the fall. And so you're spending most of your time, and I'm not saying all that time was lost. I had a great time. The race was not terrible. I just didn't do well. I didn't do as well as I thought I would. It was a huge letdown, because I really thought I was going to do great. I was so confident that I was going to do great. But I learned a really good lesson. And the way this kind of reflects off of my stroke was, it's the same thing. It's like I was working full time as a realtor. So it's kind of a high stress sales job. It's 100% commission. So you're always like responsible for, you don't make money unless you're working, and you don't make money unless you close a deal. So you could work for somebody for 6 months, and then they walk away, they don't buy a house, and you make no money. And so that's just the way it works. And so it's a pretty stressful position. I had 3 kids. I was a single mother. So I'm driving this one to this practice, and I'm trying to organize my life. And I was so fried and so stressed out, and exhausted. And I didn't think I needed to rest. I was young. I was in my 30s. And even though my body was telling me to rest, like sometimes my body would actually shake when I got really tired. And I actually didn't get sick a lot, believe it or not, but I Obviously, I got to the point where I ended up having a stroke. So obviously, I did not rest enough. And so this doesn't show up as fast because our bodies are so amazing at healing themselves. But if you don't let yourself heal, it'll manifest in your, if you don't let yourself rest in your life, if you don't de-stress and let yourself rest and take care of yourself and eat right and exercise and do all the things that you're supposed to do, it will manifest in some way, shape, or form. And me, I was under a lot of stress. There were other things going on in my life that were very stressful. And so that showed up as a stroke. But this could also show up as anxiety, depression, autoimmune disease, heart disease, high blood pressure, whatever. It could show up in so many different ways in your body. It could just show up as pain. It could show, because you could be stressed out. So it could show up as pain that keeps, magnifying. And so it's the same thing as working out. The rest is as important as the work. So it's important for us to work hard in our jobs and the things that we like to do. It's important for us to take care of our children. It's important for us to, love our family, love our significant other, and want to take care of them. This is normal. But what a lot of people don't do is they don't look to take care of themselves first, if not as much as they do other people. And so when we do this, we just keep depleting. And so just like they say that you have to fill your cup first. So you have this energy reserve and it's all the way up to the top. Okay, I'm trying to get this in both cameras. So your energy is all the way up to the top. And if you just keep taking and taking and taking and taking and taking, then you're going to be completely depleted. But if you take a little bit, you work hard, and then you get down here and then you rest a little bit, and then you work hard again, and then, oh, you have a day off, and then you get all the way back up here. So, like, that's just how it works. And it's the same way when you're working out your body. And as a health coach, I see especially women do this all the time, where especially in midlife we gain weight, our bodies are changing, we have all these different hormonal things going on, and there's a lot that's changing, and we have to adjust, we have to change things around to adjust. And one of the things that I see women do is they're like, I'm gaining weight, and they restrict their calories, and they work out like mad women, like they're at least an hour, 2 hours at the gym every day. And I'm like, you're actually just working too hard. I was like, you're not giving your body a chance to rest. You're in fight or flight. Your body's saying, holy shit, I'm in trouble. I need to hold on to this freaking weight and protect myself. And you're not digesting things well because you're you're tight, you're wound up so tight. And so you're holding on to that weight, even though you're doing everything you're supposed to, you're holding on to it. That you've plateaued, you're at that last 5 pounds, or yeah. And I've been here. I was like that when I was running, when I was training for those races. I was not losing any weight. I was amazed by it, but I wasn't. And my body was just in that stress mode. And you'll actually gain more, not weight, but you'll gain more, you'll get more toned, and you'll gain more muscle, and you'll do better when you rest and you don't work as hard. So you could legitimately every other day do a 10-minute HIIT workout and get better results than working like crazy at the gym for an hour a day and like completely depleting yourself and never resting. Okay, you need to get that rest in there. And doing those HIIT workouts, that's something that I am going to be teaching in my program coming up. I've mentioned it on this page, both pages. It's just a quick reset in April, and I'm doing this with whoever wants to do it. I could take up to 25 people, but I'm doing this for myself. So I love doing this after the winter. You gain a few pounds and you just want to get rid of it. And I want to feel energized. I want to get my health back in check. I want to feel good going into the spring and the summer. And that's what this reset's about. If you want to learn more about it, it's on the page, and I'll be posting a link soon if you're interested in signing up and joining me. It's awesome. It's all about working out, nutrition, and self-care, deep level self-care. So de-stressing, doing all the things, and it's an amazing opportunity. So I hope that you can join me in there. But anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this story, and you can learn from my lessons of training for an entire half a year for a half marathon that I sucked ass at. So I've learned that when I'm going to run a race, I train minimally because, first of all, it's not a new thing for me. Like if I was just starting out, I would definitely find a program and follow a program if I was training for my first half marathon, but it's not a new thing for me. I know what to expect. And my body remembers, like, I never stop running. So I'm always in a little bit of shape. Kind of depletes in the winter a little bit when it gets icy and I'm not running outside as much. But my body remembers. And so, very minimally, I could very easily run a half marathon and do pretty well. And I realize that now, and it's amazing. I don't have to spend so much time stressing out and doing way too much work to enjoy a race. So I hope that you can learn from this, and I hope you can apply it to your life and remind yourself that the rest is just as important as the work that you're doing. And you'll be able to enjoy the work a whole lot more when you're resting. And it's just, that's what this is all about. Self-Care Sunday group, the Empowered Woman group, that's what this is all about. It's about taking care of yourself so you can put your best self forward. So treating yourself with the highest care at the highest level of respect so that you can put your best self out there. So on that note, I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Have a beautiful rest of your weekend. I hope that you're living in a warmer place than I do. And I will see you next Sunday for Self-Care Sunday. I'm not sure what the topic will be, but I always post it on all the pages before I do it. Okay, I love you. Have a great day. Bye. And I can't end. I really hope this was live. All right, so that one was live. I don't know if I'm still live on this page. It's kind of jammed and it's not letting me end it. I'm just going to click somewhere. All right, maybe if I do this. Nope. All right. Guess I'm going to be live forever. It's stuck in starting, which leads me to